So The Crow 2024 was, I know that I hate to be like everyone else and be like, this movie's dog shit, but it just really was not good. It there's a couple redeemable things about it, but it was just personal things that I liked about it, and not necessarily. It's not enough to even bring the movie up like from a mind.
About the positive first, then.
Okay, so
start on an upbeat note.
Okay, so the biggest thing for me was the action was good. I mean, it was bloody, it was bloody like Mortal Kombat. It might be maybe like a little over gratuitous or whatever, but I kind of thought that part was okay. Like, I enjoyed all the bloody parts, just for the fact that it was, what's blood good. I use blood CGI anyway, but like, it looks like complete ass. Like, it'll just look like you can still see like artifacting and shit when they just like it just doesn't look right when somebody gets shot or whatever.
Yeah,
in this movie,
I miss Paul Verhoeven squibs from like RoboCop.
Oh my
god! Like
God.
fucking huge explosions of actual blood.
RoboCop. But anyways, yeah. So that one positive thing, well, this movie actually could have been.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Like the lost potential of what this could have been.
I don't know. Such a good actor. Movie, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Boy Kills World.
Did you watch that then?
I haven't. I want to. Okay. Maybe we should watch that, and we'll try to give him a redemption song.
Okay.
But from what I understand,
it's a talk, so that's like he has his thoughts of him talking, but it's H. John Benjamin.
I'm even more down with that because that guy is hilarious. Now he's cool after he dies twice. Couldn't he be cool the whole movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's getting the fuck beat out of him in that rehab, like they're bullying him for whatever reason. I don't know.
That's the other note I wrote down. I said, bullying him for therapy? And they're all wearing pink jumpsuits and shit? And it's not even jail. I kept thinking this was prison. She got caught with like a fucking quarter ounce of blow, and then what else did she have? Pills or something? And it was like, what the fuck, man? And
just
then
to get away from the demonic gangster, by the way.
Oh my god, damn. Like in Nazi Germany and shit. I thought they were gonna have like flash, but anyways, so like he's like, here, hold that. And he puts the joint or the cigarette or whatever, the dead henchman's mouth. That was all, like, that evoked kind of how the original character of the Crow was. He's aloof. He doesn't you know what I mean? He doesn't get, but this, man, I don't fault Bill so much. It's almost like the Star Wars prequels itis, where it's like, yeah, let's let George Lucas direct, and we'll make your acting wooden as fuck when you're way better than this. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what it seemed like, because you're fucking 6.5 feet tall, dude. No one's fucking with you.
And he's
you know
jacked.
what I mean? And he's jacked, but they kept putting him in puffy clothing and coats that say goon on the back of it to you know what I mean? Like, to show, I don't know, man, but I think, okay, you tell me your positives now, because I don't want to get to
all right. Well, you were just talking about, you were talking about the direction. It's directed by Rupert Sanders, who also did Ghost in the Shell. I haven't watched it, but I heard it's
the Scarlett Johansson one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear great things about that.
And
but that was, I think that was mostly like political, racial kind of shit or whatever.
Well,
you whitewashed it, which I understand. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Snow White and the Huntsman, which I've watched, but it was like pretty forgettable. But yeah, the cast, like you said, Bill Skarsgård, FKA Twigs. It's FKA Twigs.
Formerly known
as Twigs. Okay. And Danny Houston, which I usually like, but he's in some shitty movies. He was an X-Men Origins Wolverine. He's a villain in that.
Now, who did you say? Who's that guy? Is he the bad guy?
Yeah, he's the main villain.
Okay, and you said he was in what else?
X-Men Origins Wolverine. He was.
Okay, yeah, that's where I saw him from.
Okay, so I'll go with the positives. It tried to do something different. All right, I'll give it points for that. Like, Shelley in the first one, she's basically just in flashbacks and stuff. She's like the victim that's being avenged. I understand they probably want to give Shelley more to do or whatever in this, and not just retread the original movie. That's fine.
Don't make her a
I
plot
get that.
actually show her a little bit.
And have given her a lot of the plot just revolves around her, honestly. Like it really.
Yeah.
Eric Draven in this, he just gets caught up in it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I thought a lot of the scenes are like visually really good looking. I mean,
yeah.
I watched the Snow White and the Huntsman. It's a good looking movie. I mean, visually, the cinematography is really good in it.
Yeah.
And
that'll
like you
come
said,
to one of my points though I have later.
All right, and then like you already said, it didn't hold back on the gore, so they're not trying to make like a PG-13 Crow movie. I appreciate that he decapitates people. Like there's a lot of blood in it. They don't.
The fucking
they don't
half a head guy. Like,
yeah. And that's my other positive. My last positive is just the whole opera scene towards the end, and just that whole action. There's not a whole lot of action in this movie, honestly. Like
no, there's not that many set pieces for it.
Yeah,
that's what holds it back.
Yeah. Because I saw the trailer to this. And I'm like, okay, they made the Crow John Wick now, and it's not even that. It's that there's like so little action in it. You couldn't even like. I wish it was the Crow and John Wick, or a cross between the two, but. Yeah, it was like dreadfully slow at the beginning.
Yeah, the original, and I want to agree. Like that's actually something that you're kind of helping me to see a little better. It is kind of a positive thing that they tried to give Shelley just more than just a plot device kind of thing. But then you also hit the nail on the head by saying the movie was too focused on her and she got wrapped in on it, or he got wrapped up. Yeah, like. This guy is just a meek person that barely says any fucking thing. And then cry now, cry later. Well, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? I want to know about you, dog. What is wrong with... Why do you feel that you gotta have weird... And then also, I didn't have a relationship with... Or I mean, I don't want to say I didn't care about her character, but one of my biggest gripes about this movie, they did try something new. But here's where they fucked up. I don't think that should have been Eric and Shelley. Why couldn't it just be two different people? Every Crow story was about, even the shitty sequels that were straight to DVD. They made them about different people. In the graphic novels, there was a female. I think there were two female Crows. Like it was just more diverse. So. I don't understand why they had to make it specifically Shelley and Eric Draven. And then you don't give me any backstory about your life at all. I don't know why are you, what are you? What the it doesn't make any sense. So
yeah, okay. So that's another thing I agree on completely. Like you can make a Crow movie. It doesn't have to be Eric Draven and Shelley Webster.
Yes.
Like I remember fucking Rob Zombie was trying to make a Crow movie, and it was going to be like this gothic western, and it's like this old a whole decrepit actor playing the Crow this time. Like just do something like that. Just do something completely different. Like
Lance Henriksen or some shit. That would have been awesome.
Do a woman Crow. We haven't seen that yet. I want to see the Rob Zombie Crow. Like that sounds really interesting. And I mean, I don't think any of the Crow sequels were any good. They had the one with Edward Furlong. I need to rewatch that one again, but I remember not hating that one. That's all I'll say. As fucking surprising as that sounds, the one with Eric Mabius that had Kirsten Dunst for some reason, it was utter dog shit. That also had William Atherton in it. That had some stars in that. Anyways, I don't want to go off on that. Well, this isn't about the shitty Crow, but we could talk about like some of this movie was like in production for like 15 years, and it just kept like getting stopped. Did you hear about the other actors who were going to be the Crow?
No, tell me.
Okay, so Bradley Cooper was one.
Holy shit!
Jason Momoa was going to be the Crow. They actually have like pictures of him.
No, I would be, dude. I mean, you could have like, I don't know, you could have the Crow be anyone of any type, you know, and then yeah, it's like the thing they took a chance on was FKA Twigs being Shelly, I guess, which I won't say her acting was terrible.
I don't know half these musical artists now. I'm over the hill now, so.
Me too, yeah, I know. But the dialogue was so fucking cheesy, dude. It just cringed so many goddamn times. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like these are people who are in love with each other, and
they've known each other 45 fucking minutes.
And they're like teenagers. They are.
They're
like
supposed to be teenagers in this movie?
No. They're not supposed to be teenagers, but they're acting like teenagers. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
They're in their upper 20s, maybe 30s, and then they act like these edgy ass teenagers in love. And that's one of my major gripes is that FK Twigs.
Here's what I wrote down.
Okay.
I thought you were quite brilliantly broken.
Yeah.
I about fucking threw up, dude, when she said that shit.
You're brilliantly broken.
Brilliantly. I thought you were so brilliantly broken. On. Who talks like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you, and she was, I guess, well, no. I don't know how she was brought up because apparently her mom sold her out to the devil dude. Like,
yeah.
That was it. Yeah. Goddamn, like, what? And so I wanted to almost say, well, she grew up a whore, but she didn't grow up a whore. Or did she? Because how old was she when she got sold? That's what I mean. Like, there's not enough backstory for me to care about some of this shit, I guess. I know I keep ping-ponging back and forth.
Yeah.
We can go back to the positives.
Okay. I'm out of positives, by the way, so you can go.
Well, for some reason, though, I don't want to shit on this movie completely. That's why I said this movie could have been redeemable, because Bill Skarsgård is a good actor, and I don't think FKA Twigs was necessarily bad. I didn't have a problem with the casting. Their performance in the first half of the movie is wooden as fuck. Well, I mean, obviously she gets killed, but like, yeah, if I'm going from the top, beside, you know, like gratuitous shower scene with stupid paragraph tattoo. Yeah, like I had to see this guy's ass in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie. Who's that? Who is that for? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't 1988 when I remember my mom used to she would make me cover my eyes because every movie she would rent would be one of these actors showing their ass in a fucking show. Roadhouse, fucking
she would make you
and then like it's like asses. Showing it. What's that?
Your mom would make you cover your eyes for asses?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, but it's like, but the thing is like, why do I got to see this shit anyway? Because that's who that's for. That it makes me think. So, is this a movie for women? Is that supposed? I don't know. That's what made me think this shit was prison. It's fucking rehab. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they
make you wear jumpsuits and rehab
until they have the throwaway line about that they're in rehab. Wes, here's what I've got written down: the gratuitous shower scene, bullying him for therapy. What the fuck was I legit thought they were getting ready to like do some Oz from HBO shit to this guy. That didn't happen. It was a therapy session. Oh yeah, we gotta just treat you like a piece of shit. And then I said a co-ed prison because then they meet. Like they're over there too, hanging out. Like, I mean, so and then the pink. Why is everyone wearing oh yeah, okay, we'll come back to that. Fucking pink jumpsuits, cult prison. That's what I got. And I still at this point in the movie didn't know that this was supposed to be a rehab. It's weird because if you get arrested by a cop with a 1/4 ounce of fucking cocaine, narcotics, and she had pills and all kinds of shit fall out of that purse, right? You don't go to rehab. If I'm suspending disbelief, I guess the story could be that somehow the mother paid for her to go to rehab, but then again, that to me feels like something they rewrote while they were while they were filming, right? Does that seem that seems more like it was supposed to be a prison? They're like, wait a minute, dude, this can't. How the fuck is this a prison? It's got to be a rehab, or maybe I'm wrong. Then yeah, like guard steals a towel. What a power move! When do you know what I'm talking about? Those two guys are fucking walking down the stairs, and then the two guards, that one black one that you see all the time, are walking by him, and he steals the towel from the inmate or the whatever he is, the client that is walking. He just steals his towel. Hey, wow, what an asshole! Like, you're just stealing this fucking. I had a lot of mixed signals about that.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just say I found FK Twigs like bad in it. Like, just I guess she's not an actress.
She's not an actress, no.
And you're asking like, who's this for? What, you know? I think it's for like they're trying to get the TikTok generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. But TikTok's gonna go see an R-rated movie in a theater. They'll watch a 2-minute video on their app, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
you're barking up the wrong tree if you want the TikTok generation to come to the theater. You know, for a 2-hour boring movie, this movie is pretty fucking boring. Like, I was shocked how boring it was. Like,
yeah,
you know, I said before, I think it's John Wick, The Crow John Wick, and it's not that. It is too boring for that. You know, I just watched The Crow recently, like earlier this year. And,
yeah, we did too. Me and Tanya did.
And there's like no levity in this movie. It takes itself way too seriously. There's a lot of levity in, like, and that brings me to the villains are fucking boring. The villains are like, in the original, are like peak 90s thugs.
Yeah.
Tintin, T-Bird, Skank, Fun Boy. They all have these like distinct personalities, all cracking these fucking jokes. And
they're not even the actual main bad guys. You don't even really find that out till later. Like,
exactly.
they're the thugs you beat up in the first part of level 1 and final fight. They're not like these guys, you know, but then it goes higher than that. Yeah.
And even like Brandon Lee, the guy who's like seeking revenge, his character shows a lot of levity. He jokes around and stuff. He's like, you know, the cops have him. He's like raising his arms and he like skips along.
Yeah.
He's like a clown, you know, he looks like a clown. There was like, and this movie just takes itself way too seriously. Like,
I literally, what I said was, why is everybody in this movie, everyone looks like Machine Gun Kelly. That's what I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone looks like you said, the TikTok generation. Clip art tattoos, which I don't care. I don't want to judge shit by physical appearances and stuff, but why does everyone have to be, we're trash pieces of shit? Why are you presenting yourself like, are you a trash piece of shit? I don't know, because you dress like it. I don't know if they're like, are they junkies? Was Eric Draven a junkie? He was in rehab. I legit honestly don't remember if they say anything about that. Why is he in rehab? Do they say that? Do you remember?
I don't think so. I mean, he's just there, and that's what, you know, he's just gets mixed up into Shelley's story.
And that's my problem. Dude, here's what I knew about Eric Draven. He was a fucking, in the original Crow, talking about that. And I don't want to compare him. I hate comparing that because I don't want to sound like a doomsayer or a hater because I grew up with this movie and not this one. Like I said 3 times already, I really thought this movie could have been Eric Draven. I knew he probably was just a humble goddamn, he probably worked at a steel factory or something. You don't know where he worked, but he was a musician. He played at the goddamn club where fucking Top Dollar had his whole operation, because when they walk in, you see the main point is there's so much exposition in so little time, because that movie is almost cut like a music video, and it's just, you don't get a whole lot of chances to let up. And on those chances that you get to let up, you get the cool scenes where it's like, hey buddy, and it's like, it's him talking to little, what's her name, is like, it can't rain all the time, and it's like, Eric, like, there's just so many. He's sharing a cigarette with Ernie Hudson's character Albrecht, and you know, like, there's so much more humanity to him. I don't know a fucking thing about Bill Skarsgård's Eric Draven. I don't know why he's in rehab. Why does he let himself be bullied? Why does he have all the clip art tattoos? Does he thinks that makes him hard? The whole thing about his character just seems like 7 different people, one guy, and none of their ideas they could agree on it. So they said, "Fuck it, we're using all of them," instead of giving this guy the biggest thing. I said fashion, which was the wrong word, but style over substance was the biggest thing for this movie. It was all style over substance. It just didn't. I wanted to look for a reason to care, but you already are throwing me for a loop when you have the whole prison scene. You're trying. Is this the what's the game show from Netflix? What was that show?
Love
called?
Is Blind.
No, dude. The one where it was the Korean game show, but it was a TV show. It was. What is that? God damn it! And they all wore the same outfits, and they had to fucking play games, or they got killed.
Oh, a Squid Game.
Yeah, Squid Game. God damn it! It looked like. Okay, so like he pulled it out. Oh, let's make them all look like this from Squid Game, but then also let's act like it's prison, but it's not prison because rehab's not like that. That's cult shit. That's why I said I feel like they changed certain things.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying they were like yelling at him and everything. I just actually watched this HBO documentary called The Synanon Fix, and it's basically about a rehab where they basically just scream at each other's faces, and that is part of their rehabilitation. But then it turned into a cult later on. So it started the 60s to like the early 90s. So yeah. That's when you just said that, it just like reminded me of that actual thing that happened. But,
why it's like, why specifically pink? That's such a specific color.
Style, just like you said, style over substance.
It's style. Every single person had tattoos, and no one had a sleeve. No one had a sleeve. It was little. I call it clip art tattoos. I don't want to hate on that because maybe that's the style now. It just doesn't look. It looks weird. And then, you know, he's got the weird shaved mullet haircut, which I don't have any reason to complain, but you know, the stuff, it was, that guy. And then when you bring up Snow White and the Huntsman, you were talking about, it's visually beautiful. Yeah, it is visually beautiful. Goddamn Dragon's Lair on NES is a visually beautiful game. It's one of the worst I've ever played in my whole fucking life because it plays like dog shit, but it looks good. Some like this movie looks good, and Snow White and the Hunt, like you said, it was forgettable. And what was the other movie you said?
Ghost in a Shell, which I mean, it might look good, but I never watched it and really have zero interest in seeing.
That was if I'm remembering right, that's probably that director's most popular movie. But even then, that movie got a lot of criticism. But again, that was probably for other stupid reasons that didn't make any sense. But I want to care about the characters. You made me look at these boring motherfuckers. Like you said, this whole movie's boring. I have to watch you spout cringe poetry to each other for 45 fucking minutes before y'all get bagged over the head and suffocate to death. Thank God. And then now some cool shit can happen. Oh, but by the way, holy shit, we'll get to that point. I'm not ready for that yet, but his coat says goon. You're not gonna be able to see it. It's not gonna focus right. His coat says goo, and it's a fucking starter jacket looking mother. What? Again, I know I sound like an old head because like you said, this was marketed to the TikTok generation. But if I went to a school full of kids and I was like, would you wear this jacket that said goon on the back of it? Every one of these kids would kick me in the fucking nuts because I don't feel like these kids would be like it.
You don't wear a coat named Goon. You just change your name to like Tintin or
You're not Bob the Goon from fucking Batman. He was awesome. You're this guy. You're a 6'5" wet piece of shit that don't stand up for your fucking self. And I don't know anything about you, but you love this bitch that you met for 30 seconds because she smelled good probably or whatever. I don't know. And then, it's just, we're still just basically talking about the first half of the fucking.
Well, let's talk about the second half then. Well, he doesn't even turn into the crow until the very.
Well, he turns into the crow fucking twice. Goddamn. Jesus Christ.
Twice, they become the crow. He becomes a crow when all the black goo comes out of his eyes. Yeah, like we're supposed to think like the love story isn't earned at all. I don't think it's
no.
And they,
Go ahead.
I mean, they
I'm
just
listening.
seem like in the original, they seem like a wholesome couple. You know, they took in this freaking teen off the streets and kind of like give her a home. She's fighting
People
against,
around
like,
the neighborhood knew him. Like they had, you know, because she had those people that, I mean, she knew the people in the apartment complex and stuff. You knew so much with very little. That's what I was trying to talk about with before I TLDR'd. But yeah, people had to have known who Eric Draven was because he was in the Hangman's Joke Band or whatever it was called. You saw that same picture in that club, and okay, so you knew he played here. So you know, there was, I don't know, you get a lot of exposition in very small amounts. A byproduct of that, which I super agree with you with, is that they wanted to flesh out Shelley more. They way overcompensated with that.
You know, if you're gonna do that and have the plot basically revolve all around her, make Shelley the crow. You know, it makes more sense to make her the crow. But
that would have actually been a pretty good twist.
Yeah. Do you want to? Is there? I'm like, do you want to talk about the villains at all? Because
we can.
There's not much to talk about.
You have forgettable, stupid blonde bitch that's like supposed to be, I don't know, what's her name?
Tilda Swinton? Nope.
There you
go.
I know.
And
well, we didn't know the name
boy.
We didn't know Top Dollar's name, or I still don't know Bai Ling's name. I can't remember. It's in the credits, but they never mention them by name. They just call him
the actor or the
dude's name.
I have no idea.
In the movie. Fuck.
But I watched it with subtitles, so they whisper into people's ears and make them do things.
I called that snuffling because the first time you see him do to the Asian blonde-haired lady, he's like, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It wasn't that weird eldritch whispering like it was the second, third time he did it. That first time, it was like he was doing the scene from Silence of the Lambs, like farva beans in the nice Chianti.
I had subtitles on when I was watching it, and every time he did that, it just said demonic whispering. So,
yeah, because his whole gimmick was he sold his soul out to Satan so that he wouldn't go to hell, but he has to give souls. So to get the souls, he has to whisper in their ears to make them to commit the worst thing that those people have thought in their heads to do to someone, and then makes them actually act on it. So to me, that's one of the thing about the rules that doesn't set well with. Is there actually heaven and hell? Because you don't see heaven. And so if you're, I don't know, it's the rule. One of the things I wrote down is the rules are stupid in this Crow movie, because I don't understand. I'm right about what he's doing, right? He's forcing them to sin so they will go to hell, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because when he whispers in their ear, he's making them search. When he explains it in the exposition thing later, the ragged guy that Eric finds later that was in the video, he does the exposition dump in the alley when Eric finds him. I think when he's still Crow number 1. He might be Crow number 2 at this. No, I think he's still Crow number 1. But yeah, you know who I'm talking about? There was Shelley, and then there was the guy. The guy that meets her in the club later to be like, hey man, shit's going down, man. That guy. When he confronts him later, that guy does the exposition dump about what happens. He's like, he makes people do things, man, that's in their minds. He's talking about so we've all thought about let's kill our boss and shit. What he does is he whispers to you to be like, yeah, you should kill your boss. So you do that and you kill your boss, but that makes you a sinner, which makes your soul go to hell. Right? That's what I think the whole point is. Yeah, but
and then there's no free will though.
Yeah, exactly. So
it doesn't make sense.
Okay, the devil makes it okay. So, hey, I don't want to go to hell, so let me make a deal with you. I'll send you some souls to hell, but somehow I also need a power from you. You got to give me a power to make these people do their darkest thought that I whisper to them, so that they'll become a sinner, and then you get the soul. Deal. Handshake. I guess. I think
incredibly dumb.
All right, but no.
Evil person name, Vincent Rogue.
They do say his name because I do remember that. So credit where credit's due. But yeah, he's just.
I kept pretending. I don't know if you ever watched 30 Days of Night, where it's like
it's been a while ago.
He's the main vampire in it, and just to get through it,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this is the same character from 30 Days of Night. There.
Yeah.
Like, just to make the character more interesting. Should we talk about the ending then?
Yeah, we can. So we've been memeing on it already, but look, he becomes the Crow twice. So one of my biggest fucking problems with why the writing sucks is, okay, you love this girl for 45 minutes, y'all got bagged and died. You're now in the, I guess, purgatory where you are granted the opportunity for revenge against the people that did great evil to you that you didn't deserve. Basically, and in fact, if I noted that right, I could be wrong about this. When the actor that plays whatever that guy is, the guide, which is a callback to the comic, and they actually filmed scenes with Michael Berryman where he was supposed to be the guide in the original 1994 Crow. You knew that, okay? I thought you did. There was a guide to let him know how his powers work, so I actually kind of do appreciate that. Again, I don't know if you get his name in this. I thought he was pretty good. I'll give him that. But yeah, so he's great. He has to go and kill everybody. You got to kill everybody that was involved, and then he watches the video where the Vincent Rogue or whatever his name is clearly does the whole horkity hork in the girl's ear. You see it on the video. You see this shit. The fucking horks on her. Super, and her eyes roll. You see it. Her eyes roll in the back of her fucking head. You see it in the goddamn cell phone video. And she walks over there and stabs this pretty white girl 7 times in the fucking neck. And now, okay, Eric Draven starts to kind of fall out of love with her when you clearly saw some shit. You're already dead at this point, motherfucker. How do you not understand that some manipulation was going on? And so he starts to waver. So then he gets shot with a fucking deer slug and he dies again. He's like, well, you fucked up. The guide says you fucked up. You're dead now. You didn't love her enough. I know. I loved her super hard in the 45 minutes that we were in love. But then I watched a video where clearly she wasn't under her own will, and I fell out of love with her, man. I saw with my own eyes that it wasn't her fault, but I still hold her accountable. So this guy that she's afraid of, that I knew she was afraid of, that had us killed, and I'm dead because of that, but I still don't love this bitch. Anyways, if I didn't explain that correctly, so then he's like, now I will sacrifice. Now here's what I thought this meant. She was in hell. He was gonna condemn his soul to hell so that she would go to heaven. Yeah. It's not what ends up happening. We'll get there, which is bullshit. Anyways, so, and then he gets the black blood crow shitty fucking makeup, whatever. And then he's the crow he should have been when he was the crow the first time. God damn, that's why I wrote the note. He's cool. Why couldn't he have been this way the whole time? Because I liked it, but he's only cool for like 5 minutes, and then it's kind of just more bullshit, boring shit. But like, I don't know.
Did it?
But
so we're talking about the ending, right? And then so basically they went back in time and she lived.
Is that what happened?
This is what I'm understanding from it. I mean, it's fresher in your mind because you probably watched it. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen it, but she lives, he dies, and the dude that's in Crowland or whatever the fuck is called is there with her.
Yeah.
So all these bad guys
telling her the sacrifice.
Yeah, and all these bad guys are still alive and probably gonna still be after her.
Well, so that's why I thought this shit was stupid, because you watched him die. That guy got dissolved into pieces into hell goop. So I really don't think that is what's insinuated. I just think that somehow I think everyone that died is dead. I'm not saying this isn't.
It's just so confusing.
They ripped the shit out of the fucking bad guy to pieces. Like, you see it for like 30 seconds happening. So if that's the case, and then they bring her back to life and he has to die. So now this bitch that, again, these people are in their fucking 20s, we'll assume. He fucking died over some shit that he was not involved in at all, as you pointed out, very cleverly. She gets to live and fall in love with other people because she could be alive another 60 or 70 fucking years, dude. And he's got to sit there and watch all that from the shadows, because that's what? They're supposed to live together forever in heaven, dude. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
Stay in the afterlife together forever. You right the wrongs. And then, so the wrong was, this bitch got me drug into some fucking satanic weird shit. I just thought she smelled good and looked pretty decent, and she paid attention to me. She wasn't one of these pink jumpsuit bullying ass motherfuckers to me. So now I love her. We ran away and we hung out with other clip art tattoo fucking Machine Gun Kelly looking like dudes in a goddamn Ford Bronco. And we drove around, and we partied, and then maybe that was a day and a half, or however the fuck long that shit lasted. And then we fucking also drunk some expensive, I guess some Cristal champagne or whatever that you had hidden. Had this. Hey, we were escaping from rehab. Let's do drugs and alcohol. I'm no prude. I'm not against that. And then gratuitous naked flashes of some shit. I don't know how much time they spent together. It was not more than 48 hours. I'm talking about the escape. They met each other in prison, but it only looked like they met each other twice, which, by the way, pretty fucking easy to, I still didn't know it was a rehab when it was that easy for them to escape. Oh yeah, all we got to do is just fucking unstrap these things from our shit and then jump through this fucking hole in the wall. Like, what? I probably should have known, to be completely honest, that it wasn't a prison at that point. But forgive me for thinking. I don't know. But still,
it's sitting on.
There's, like you said, the love story was not earned.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have? You could have. Okay, let's. I don't understand. When I called these people, they treat themselves like trash. That's what this movie made it seem like. Like these are just like street urchins that are just pieces of shit.
They're
trying to get
broken. They're not pieces of shit.
No, yeah, brilliantly broken. They're
brilliantly broken.
Yeah, brilliantly broken. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, why couldn't this movie have started out? They were alright. If I'm okay with you showing me 45 minutes of the love story, but let's already be in it. Have some scenes where maybe they're struggling, they're having a hard time making ends meet, but they still love each other. You know, maybe she gets involved in that wrong crowd at that point because she's partying with a fucking demon, which shouldn't exist in the first place. I really hate that supernatural aspect that they added to the people that wasn't the crow. God, I hate that. But anyways, yeah, and then explain that, and then show, if you're gonna have them be Eric Draven and Shelley, have them. She was that way in the movie, so show that, where, you know, she was, instead of I'm a fucking piece of shit street urchin, she was a fucking beautifully talented musician. Like,
well, I'll just sum up what I thought. When I saw that Bill Skarsgård was going to play the Crow before seeing any pictures, I was like, cool, I can see him as the Crow.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
me
Eric
too.
Draven. I think they just save Eric Draven. That's Brandon Lee. You know, just leave it alone. Let him be someone else. But then they show the pictures of him, and he had tattoos. I'm like, okay, it's a different take. Whatever. Maybe it'll be decent. And then I saw the trailer, and then I'm like, oh shit, they're like, we have this IP. They'll just make a John Wick movie and use the IP.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's just a boring ass movie. Really. It had potential, but so the things I liked about it, it tried something different. Visually, it looked pretty good. There's a lot of good scenes that are very look great. It doesn't hold back with gore or anything. It's not trying to be a PG-13. They're going after the TikTok crowd, I guess, and it's R-rated. So I don't know what they're thinking there, but I'm glad it's R-rated at least. And the action opera scene at the end, and it was pretty cool. But damn, that's like it took like an hour 40 minutes to get here, and then
it took a long time to get there. Yeah, I'll give it maybe a 2 out of 5 because I don't like doing like half numbers and fractions and shit. But I'll give it 1 star because visually it was good. I agree with you. I thought it looked pretty good. I liked how the transitions between the worlds was through the water. I thought that was okay. Oh, that was one thing I wrote. The intro to the movie was just kind of fucking weird, like how it started.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought
it looked like an intro to a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but I'm like, am I watching the fucking Crow series on HBO?
That's exactly.
Well, you give
the
your
second
overall
star
thoughts on it. So, yeah.
The second star would be for the action scenes. I think the action was good. Now, -3 stars. The reason it gets that is because I didn't care about. I still cared about Eric because he was the main character. You tried to make me care about Shelly. I didn't care. I don't want to knock FKA Twigs. Again, I don't know enough about her. I think she's more of a musician. And I think it's my opinion, have a good director. Might have to take a few line readings. You can make anybody be able to deliver lines well. To me, she seemed like she could be capable of delivering lines well, but the lines that her and everyone else in the movie was given were complete trite dog shit. So I don't want to put 100% blame on her because he was shitty too. He fucking sucked in the first part of the movie. All his lines were dog shit. I didn't care about anything he said until, like I said, when he became the Crow the first time, I cared a little bit. But then, and then also, side note, why'd they make him still feel pain when he got shot? Or when he got hurt?
I thought it was an interesting choice.
I didn't like it because that's what makes the Crow aloof. You get it?
Yeah.
If you know you can't die because you're already dead and everything's already fucked anyway, that's why you act that way. But now you're like, oh fuck, I got fucking shot, I'm invisible. Oh, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't think that was a good choice.
I think they could have done something with that, like the way he feels pain and everything. I think it could have been an interesting decision.
When the mutagen got dumped on him and he became Super Crow because he sucked at being regular Crow, then he didn't seem like the shit mattered. That's what I meant. He became what the Crow should have been the first time. I don't understand the transition, but yeah. And then I didn't care about any of the bad guys. They were all disposable John Wick villains, and it was just a style over substance movie that I think they did direct, like you said, towards like the TikTokers. Hey, let's get these people sucked into a movie, but then it's like these young people don't know anything about the Crow unless they're cool like we are and introduce their kids to this movie when they were coming. You know what I mean? Like, my kid loves the original Crow movie because I showed it to him when he was younger. But if I showed him this movie and he's 23, if he watched it, I could only imagine how much he'd be on his phone. He wouldn't even be fucking watching it. He'd be like, this shit sucks. He would be on TikTok looking at other shit.
Hey, it was a struggle for me not to pick up my phone watching this movie. Okay,
I was playing World of Warcraft farming when I was. I still wrote notes down because there were I was over here. I'd still be like, you know, I'd still
side eye in the movie.
and then something would catch my ear, and I would rewind. I'd be like, and then I'll rewind it, and I'll be like, what the fuck this motherfucking bitch say? I rewound it like 6 or 7 times just to make sure the shit I was hearing was right. Terrible.
Well,
but 2 out of 5 is what I would say.
Yeah, 2 out of 5. Probably like it a little bit more to me. I'll probably go a star and a half. You know, that half a star is probably just giving it credit for trying to do something different, for looking good, the opera scene, but that's just like the bare minimum I can give it.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
It's just so boring. It's just, I wouldn't even recommend it to anyone. Hopefully, I'm kind of glad it bombed because we don't have to, you know, I don't know if that was sequel bait at the end. Hopefully that's dead. We don't have to see any more Crow movies.
Yeah, Tanya was with me for the last 20 minutes of the movie. She was just like, this is dog shit. She loves the original. And then she even said that. I was like, are they trying to lead to a sequel? And I literally told her, I said, there's never going to be a sequel to this movie.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an update. If you want to support the channel and get exclusive content, check out our Patreon in the link below.